All right, so this is the treble clef worksheet. So you're going to have another one on treble clef, but this is the way we can easily go through and start talking about how to read music. So if you're at home, the first thing you're going to do is create a text box, and then you're going to type your name so that we know whose work this is. And then let's talk and let's work our way through it. So again, you're going to go back down to the drawing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you and read with you so that if you need help, you can follow along. Music notes are named after the first 7 letters of the alphabet, from A to G. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. By their position on the staff, they can represent the entire range of musical sound. The clef signs, that's the clef signs, are helped to organize the staff so notes can be easily read. So we have high and low instruments. So the clef that we're talking about today is the treble clef. And that is used for notes that are higher in pitch ranges, which is the flute, the clarinet, the alto saxophone, the bass clarinet, the trumpet, the French horn. Those and mallet. Those are the ones that are going to read it in treble or G clef, and it revolves around from a stylized G. So if you take a look, there's a G right there. And then that was what it looked like, and this is what it looks like today on the staff. The curl of the treble clef circles the line in which the note G is played. So this right here is G. And that is one of the reasons why it's called G clef. The G is above middle C. So this is in the middle of a piano. And then the G is going to be right above it. So this is, again, it's going to be the higher voiced instruments. In the treble clef, the names of the lines, notes on the lines from bottom to top. Again, we're going from bottom to top, and that's every good boy does fine. Now, if you don't like that saying, you can go, every girl buys designer fashions, every good burrito does, oh, I can't remember it. But there's a burrito one, empty garbage before dad flips. There's a ton of sayings. You can create your own sayings, but it means that the notes on the lines will be named E, G, B, D, and F. So if you're going from bottom to top, it helps to have that saying so you remember that the bottom line is E, the second line is G, the third line is B, the fourth line is D, and the fifth line is F. The names of the notes in spaces from the bottom to the top is spelled face. So again, F, A, C, and E. Again, from the bottom to top, this is F, this is note A, this is note C, and this is note E. If you were going to go from the bottom to the top, you're going to go through the alphabet. So the bottom line is E, after E comes F, and after F comes G. Now, because there's only 7 letters in the musical alphabet, once you hit G, you go back to A. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F. And we have a game to help you remember the order of the notes to help you identify them a little bit easier. So again, starting on the bottom line, it's E, and then F, and then G. Once you hit G, you go back to A and go through the 7 letters again. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now notice that E and F are up on top and as well as the bottom. There's a lot of them. So this is where we bring in that high and low worksheet we did yesterday, that this is a low note and this is a high note. So again, just building on your knowledge. So now the exercises for this worksheet is that you're going to write in treble clefs. You're going to finish the ones that are here, and then you're going to draw 4 more. Again, you're going to try to do your best that you can do. And if you're at home, you're either using your stylus or you're using your mouse. So you want to finish those 2. But the big thing is you're going to start with that first motion is down and then back. And then you do the curly Q. And again, you're going to go around the G. Okay, so again, you're going to do the best that you can to draw the treble clef. And you're going to draw 4 more. You're not done with just the first 2. And I don't draw treble clefs really good. And none of the great composers did either, because they were in a rush to get their music out of their head and onto the page. So again, you're going to do your best, but the big key thing is to make sure it curls around this line because it's a G clef. Then, that is number 1. So if you need time to do that, go ahead, pause. On to number 2. You're going to write the letter names of the following notes using capital letters. So don't use lowercase, use capital, and try to be as neat as you're possible. So the first thing you want to do is identify if it's a line note or a space note. This is a space note because, again, it's in between the 2 lines. So I go F, A, C, E, and that's how I write in a C on this. The next one, is it a line or a space note? Since it is got the line going through the center of it, it's considered a line note. So I go through the sayings, empty garbage before dad flips. And so I know that this note right here is going to be a G. Then we move on to the next note. The next note, is it a line or space note? It is a space note, so we go through the saying F, A, C, E. So the note is where I say F, so this would be an F. We're looking at the next note. The next note is a line or space note. It is a line note, so we're going to go and we're going to say the line sayings. Empty garbage before dad flips. So this would be considered empty garbage before a B. Then we're moving on to the next note. The next note again is a line note. So we're going to go to the saying, empty garbage before dad flips. The note lands on flips, so we are going to say that that is an F. I'm going to do one more with you. I want you to tell me whether that's a line or space note. Now that you know it's a space note, you're going to go through your space sayings. F, A, C, E. This is on the E space, so we label it as a capital E. Now what I want you to do is I want you to pause it, pause the video, and do the next 4 note names on your own. And the first thing you want to do is identify if it's a space or a line note. And then once you identify the space or line note, I want you to go through the sayings and then write the letter name that goes with it underneath. Go ahead and pause the video. All right, so number 3. Number 3 is you're going to write the notes on the staff indicated by the letters. So again, if you see this first one, it has F. There are 2 F's. You're going to draw both of them in. Okay, so write them right above each other. Don't slide them over to the side, just write them in the same spot. So we know that E and F are the ones that have two note names on the staff. So you want to make sure you're careful about E and you're careful about F. So the first one we're going to go is D. Now for this you can either go through your sayings, every good boy does fine, or FACE to identify them, or you can use this bar over here. And when you're using this bar over here, you can see here's my D and it's on the fourth line. So we go, every good boy does, and we can use the saying, and we want to make sure that it's on the line. Always double check your work. So that means you go back and go, every good boy does. So in case you make a mistake, you can go use that eraser tool, because I didn't like that one, eraser tool, and then redo that note. Okay? So on C, again, we can either go through our sayings face, and we go F-A-C-E, or we can come up here and see the C, and then we can see, okay, it's on the third space. So then we come down to the bottom line, and we're going to write in that note in between the lines on the bottom. So now what I want you to do is, again, remember that you have two E's, one on the bottom, one on the top, two F's, one on the bottom, one on the top, and I want you to write in the rest of the notes on the staff. And that is your assignment for today.